Okay, so you've been looking into keeping gym members around longer.
Right.
And based on the sources you sent over, it looks like you found some pretty interesting angles. One that maybe jumped out was this idea of like a welcome kit actually being a big deal.
Yeah, that's the one. We're going to dive into this white paper by jthomas. It's called The Power of a Gym Welcome Kit: Why First Impressions Are a Secret Retention Weapon.
Mm.
And, what's really striking is his argument. It's that the focus after someone joins, that initial bit, that can be, well, maybe even more important than getting them in the door.
Right.
It's not just fluff, it's actually strategic for keeping the business healthy long term.
Totally. It's easy to get obsessed with just new signups, isn't it?
Mm.
But this paper really zones in on those first few days, those crucial weeks, and it frames the welcome kit as this surprisingly effective tool, making a great first impression, building that loyalty from day one.
Yeah, exactly. And for you listening, think of this as kind of a focused look at one core strategy, something to really boost how connected your members feel. It's about getting ahead of those early dropouts, which, hits the bottom line, but also helps build that stronger community vibe in your gym.
Okay, so the paper starts off talking about this ticking clock, first impressions. It says there's this 5 to 7 day window right after sign up that's just critical. Why that first week? What's the magic there?
Well, in those first few days, new members are kind of riding this wave of emotions, right? There's excitement, sure, but maybe also nervousness. A bit of, what have I gotten myself into, perhaps? Psychologically, it's a really receptive time. There's this thing called the primacy effect. Basically, early experiences stick and really color how we see things later.
Okay.
So a good welcome kit landing right then, it can really cement positive feelings about the gym, make it feel right.
That's interesting. So it's less about just being welcoming and more about like tapping into brain chemistry almost.
Kind of, yeah.
And the paper compares the kit to things like, onboarding emails, which, let's be honest, can easily get buried.
Exactly. Emails have their place, definitely. But getting something physical, a tangible kit, that hits different. It's a sensory thing. It feels more intentional, like a real gesture. It makes joining feel more like an event, not just clicking confirm purchase.
Yeah, I get that. It makes it feel more significant.
Right. And that connects to their next point, which is turning this simple transaction into, well, an experience. They argue people join gyms for more than just, access to equipment. What's really driving them? And how does the kit play into that?
Good question. What are they looking for beyond the workout?
Fundamentally, it's often about feeling better, maybe looking better, finding confidence. And often it's about finding a place to belong, a community. So a well-thought-out kit, it changes the framing. That membership fee isn't just a fee anymore. It's like the start of their journey, their commitment.
So it's creating that sense of occasion right from the get-go, not just admin.
Precisely. And linking that back to retention, if members feel that sense of occasion, that excitement early on, they're way more likely to build an emotional tie to the place. And that emotional buy-in, that's huge for keeping them around when, motivation dips or the workouts get tough in those first few weeks.
That makes total sense. It's like saying, hey, we're genuinely glad you're here and we're actually invested in you. The paper also talks about showing value immediately and building confidence because new members, they can feel pretty lost at first, can't they?
Absolutely. That feeling of vulnerability is real. Unsure about the machines, maybe feeling self-conscious, just overwhelmed by a new space, a new routine.
Yeah.
A welcome kit can be like this.
Yeah.
This instant reassurance. It says, we get it. You made a good call joining. And maybe most importantly, we've got your back from day one. It starts building their self-belief right away.
Like a little confidence booster, delivered just when they need it most. How does that early thumbs up actually help them stick around?
Well, think about how quickly doubt can set in, right? Especially if the first workout leaves them super sore or they feel awkward. That early validation helps push past that initial hump. It helps them start seeing themselves as someone who fits in, who belongs there, who's actually doing this fitness thing. It builds that day one confidence.
Okay, this is really clicking. Then the paper shifts to brand perception. How these kits actually elevate the gym's brand. Because a brand is like everything they experience, not just the logo. How does a little box fit into that big picture?
It's interesting, right? Because every single touch point, big or small, shapes how someone sees your brand. And the welcome kit, it's often one of the very first physical things they experience from you after signing up.
Oh, good point.
So even if it's not super fancy, a kit that's put together with care, it screams professionalism, attention to detail, pride in what you do.
So the effort itself sends a message. Even more than specific items, maybe.
Exactly right. It lifts the gym from just being a place with weights to being a community, something with substance, with care baked in. And that positive first impression of the brand, that's gold for loyalty. And like you said, for getting people to talk about you. Referrals.
Which are huge in fitness,
Yeah.
yeah. The paper also gets into the emotional side. Fitness isn't just reps and sets. There's a lot of feeling involved.
Yeah.
How does the kit set a tone for the relationship?
This is where it gets really human, I think. People need support, connection, not just equipment. The welcome kit is like that first handshake, but more meaningful. It's a nonverbal promise. We see you as a person, and we care about your journey. It's an early signal of support.
And that feeling of connection, that actually makes a difference in whether they stay long-term.
Oh, massively. The research backs this up. Members who feel emotionally connected, they're way more likely to stick around, even through rough patches or changes in their life. That initial we care vibe from the kit can really forge a stronger bond right from the start.
Okay. So the why is super clear. Let's get practical. What actually goes in one of these kits? The paper breaks it down. Starting with presentation. Why does the bag or box matter so much?
Presentation is huge because, well, it's the first impression of the first impression, if that makes sense.
Yeah, duh.
How it looks, how it feels. It tells you immediately if this was just chucked together or if someone actually thought about it. It sets the stage for how valuable the stuff inside feels.
They mention options, like branded totes, nice folders, even little boxes. Is one better than another?
Not really one best way, no. It needs to fit your brand. You know, what vibe are you going for? A solid tote bag is great because people reuse it, so free advertising basically. But a nice box can feel more like a proper gift. Key thing is, it feels deliberate. Quality.
Makes sense. Then practical swag. Things like water bottles, towels, maybe resistance bands. What's the strategy there?
Yeah, the goal is usefulness. Stuff they'll actually use for fitness. A branded water bottle, a gym towel, they'll probably use those right there in your facility. Constant reminder of your brand.
Things like bands or a jump rope add extra value. Maybe encourage workouts outside the gym too. It shows you're supporting their whole journey.
And they make a good point.
Yeah.
Don't just stuff it with junk. Like 3 to 5 good things is better than 10 cheap things. Quality, not quantity.
Absolutely. A few well-chosen, decent quality, useful items. Much better than a bag of plastic stuff that ends up in a drawer. Or the bin.
Okay, next. The handwritten note. Seriously. In 2024, does handwriting still matter that much?
Yeah, what? It really, really does. Maybe more now, because everything else is digital.
Yeah.
A quick handwritten note, it just cuts through the noise. It feels incredibly personal, shows genuine effort. It makes someone feel properly seen. An email just can't do that.
Yeah, I can see that.
That human touch, it's powerful.
They gave that example note. Welcome to Gym Name. We're honored to have you. You've made a powerful choice. We're here to help.
That feels pretty good to receive.
Simple, sincere, reinforces their decision, promises support. It's a small thing, but yeah, big impact potential.
Then the smart onboarding materials. This is the practical info, right? Schedules, maps.
Exactly. This part is all about making it easy for them, removing friction, clear schedule, how to book classes, maybe a simple map, quick guide to machines, login info for apps, anything that stops them feeling lost or confused.
Right.
Oh, and maybe including your mission or values helps them connect on a deeper level, perhaps.
Good idea. And finally, the surprise and delight notice. This sounds fun. Creating a memorable moment. What kind of things work here?
Yeah, this is about adding that little unexpected extra, something that makes them smile, maybe even makes them want to tell someone about it.
Like what?
Could be a voucher for a free smoothie if you have a cafe, or a guest pass for a friend, maybe a discount on some merch, or an invite to a special new member meetup.
Ooh, I like the event idea.
Yeah, just something small, unexpected, that leaves a really positive feeling, creates a bit of a wow.
Those are all great ideas. Okay, so you've got the kit sorted. But the paper adds some strategies to make sure it actually works long term, like training staff to present it like it's a celebration. Why is that presentation piece so key?
Because how it's given matters almost as much as what's inside. If staff just shove it across the counter with the paperwork, meh.
Right. Kills the vibe.
Yeah, but if they're trained to present it with some genuine warmth, some excitement, hey, welcome, we're so glad you joined, here's a little something to get you started, it turns it into a real welcoming moment, a ritual.
And consistency, making sure everyone gets the same quality kit. Why is that so important for the brand?
Builds trust, basically, and keeps your brand promise solid. If Sarah gets a great kit in June, but Tom gets a kind of lame one in July, That feels unfair. It weakens the message. Everyone gets the same warm welcome, same quality, shows you value all members equally. Professionalism.
Makes sense. They also suggest updating the kit quarterly. Sounds like work. Is it worth refreshing it that often?
It can be, yeah. Keeps things from feeling stale.
Mm.
You could add seasonal items, maybe highlight a new program, swap out one piece of swag for another. It shows you're still thinking about it, still putting effort into that welcome experience, even years down the line. It shows ongoing care.
Okay, and the big one, tracking data. Comparing retention, say, at 90 days for people who got a kit versus those who didn't. That's the proof, right?
That's the proof in the pudding, exactly. Data tells the real story. Is this actually working? Is it moving the needle on retention? Tracking lets you quantify the ROI, make smart choices about the kit going forward, takes the guesswork out.
And speaking of ROI, the paper throws out some numbers. Kit cost, maybe $10, $20. Average member lifetime value, $600 to $1,200, maybe more. Big difference there.
It's a huge difference. And then they estimate the impact, like maybe a 10, 25% drop in early cancellations for people who get a kit.
Yeah.
Plus maybe if a 15, 20% increase in referrals from those members who feel valued right from the start, you add that up.
So yeah, spending maybe $15 on a kit could bring back $300, $400, $500 in value from that member staying longer and maybe bringing a friend. It's pretty compelling math.
It really is. When you frame it like that, the welcome kit isn't just a nice-to-have expense. It's a proper strategic investment. Builds relationships, cuts churn, drives growth. It pays for itself, potentially many times over.
Right. So wrapping this deep dive up, this paper from jthomas really hammers home that a well-done welcome kit isn't just a small thing. It's actually a seriously potent tool for keeping members engaged, for building loyalty. It really shifts the focus to making that first impression count, making it more than just a sign-up process.
Yeah, what's really key is seeing how that one seemingly small, deliberate action can send ripples, positive ripples, through that whole member journey. It just helps build a stronger, more connected gym community, and ultimately a more successful one.
So maybe the final thought for you listening is you think about your own approach. What's one small, intentional thing you could do, maybe starting today, that really says welcome in a powerful way? Something that sets the right tone for a long, happy relationship with your new members.